Welcome back on the Gun Shop Show. I'm excited to talk about our next topic because I think a lot of times when people hear we're going to talk about a nonprofit or a charitable organization, it's kind of like, all right, let's, we're having to do our due diligence, but this is a really cool idea.
Absolutely.
And obviously, when we explain it, you're going to understand why we're talking about it on the Gun Shop Show. But I want to welcome to the show the organizer of a organization called Marksmen for Vets, and that is Russ Jackson. Russ, thanks for coming on the show.
Hello. Glad to be here. It's an honor.
Thank you. I know, Russ, you've been a part of the Gun Shop Show fan group, and we appreciate your participation there, and that's how we sort of got you on our radar. But you have a really unique thing that you do for veterans, and rather than poorly explain it myself, I would like you to tell our listeners what it is that Marksmen for Vets does.
We are a not-for-profit. We build AR platform rifles through donations, and we basically, through our criteria, we give them away to deserving veterans. They've gone all over the country, as far away as Arizona and as far south as North Carolina, and I'm in Pennsylvania. So it's not just a local thing, it's wherever we get the need. I mean, there's always a need.
Yeah.
There's way more need than I will ever be able to fulfill.
There are a lot of deserving veterans, but first tell me, are we still good, Trevor?
We're good. Sorry.
I saw a flash on the monitor. Okay, good. All right. And if you're listening on the radio, we have a video version of this show, which I encourage you to check out. You go to facebook.com, type in Liberty Tree Guns. You'll see everything that we're talking about on the show. And while you're there, make sure you share the feed. So you can click share. It won't make you leave the show. It'll just allow you to share this with your friends. And if you tag 5 friends, so do both of those things, you'll get a chance to win today's prize. What I wanted to say, though, was you mentioned that this is done through donations, and we're talking about building an AR for a deserving veteran. Do you take donations in the form of money, or do you take literal components of the guns that you build as donations?
I take components. I've had donations from California all the way down to Florida. If you want me to mention a few of my sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you will. I've had MOA Customs, Phoenix Weaponry, Bowden Tactical, Acme Machine, Lucid Optics, Timney Trigger, Rise Armament, Gun Inc. Designs, Elfman Triggers, Green Mountain Barrels, Ozark Armaments, Patriot Firearms Coating, Big Iron Cerakote, York Tactical, REC Gunworks, Defenders Armory, and Hufftown High Power. Those last two are my local FFLs that do my transfers of my charity lowers for free.
Wow. That's awesome. Pretty impressive
list. Numerous private donations. I mean, just the groups I'm on, both the Marksmen for Vets, the Snob Free, AR-15 Snob Free page is where I started. Firearms and Friends. I mentioned that I need this part, or I need a recipient, and that goes from there. Everybody just starts piling parts in, and that's one of the hardest part is getting enough donations to build one. So there's always way more need than I can ever fulfill.
Well, hopefully we can help with that today on the show. I don't want to forget, so we'll mention it now, and we'll come back and mention it hopefully a few more times. If people believe in this cause and they want to contribute either money so that you can get components, how do they contact you to make sure that they can help out with this great cause?
I am on Facebook, Marksmen for Vets. I'm on I have my own Gmail account, marksmenforvets@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. on my Marksmen for Vets page. It has my business card up there and has my name and phone number on it.
Well, great. We'll drop links to that in the show notes so you can contribute directly. And this is what I love about this, and this has been on my mind a lot, is I see we have a weekly gun swap here at Liberty Tree Guns where people come in and it's like a swap meet, but they can sell guns and related parts. And accessories and components especially is one of those things, if you buy one and you don't build it into a rifle, you know, it doesn't retain quite as much value for you for resale a lot of times. So you buy, say, a really nice furniture set for an AR, and then you decide to go a different direction. Sometimes it's hard to get your money back.
What do I do with that?
Yeah, what I do, I took it around, I tried to sell it, and, you know, people didn't really want to pay me what I gave for it or close. And you need to find a purpose for it. This is a way where, yeah, you may not get your money back, but you know this is going to go to a deserving veteran. And Trevor, I should have mentioned it. Do we happen to have a clip of?
Yeah, I've got one. I got a couple actually. I think the two that he put in the group. The first one was a gentleman. Let's see. Just says a little project I do or something like that. This was a gentleman. I think it was the first post we saw, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of what got my attention. And do you know how long that video is?
I've got one here that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds long.
Okay, when we come back from the break, I want to show our audience the reaction that the veteran had when they receive this rifle. So, you know, veterans struggle a lot oftentimes after they come home from active service. There's a lot of reasons why, and there's a lot of good organizations trying to combat that, but it comes sometimes from just a huge switch in environment, a change in their sense of purpose.
Exactly.
And sometimes they feel unnoticed, unappreciated, and but when you gave the rifle to a deserving veteran, their reaction and their yeah, that's why you do it.
Very
right?
intense.
Yeah,
that's why I do it. It hits you. You know, just you get that video back or that thank you back, and you know, it's like I make a difference in somebody else's life. But it's not only me that makes a difference. It's my donors that make a difference. You know, I'm just a middleman. I just put the thing together and facilitate its arrival. It's the donors that make these things happen.
And just the humble but deeply appreciative and emotional response to that, being gifted that, you know, a lot of times these are veterans that don't happen to be in a position to be able to purchase their a nice AR-15, or they've sacrificed and spent their money on other things. So for them to get to do that, it connects them to a platform that they used in the service, which is something that's familiar to them. They can deeply appreciate it. So when we come back from the break, I want to talk about that, maybe make some hard plans of how the Gun Shop Show can help Marksmen for Vets, how you as a listener of the Gun Shop Show can participate and really get in on something that's truly unique on the Gun Shop Show.
Hey all, it's Mel with Pro Outfitters. Once again, I'm on the go, but I always make time for the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back on the Gun Shop Show. We are talking to Russ Jackson from Marksmen for Vets. And I want to roll that footage. This is just one video that jumped out to us of a veteran receiving this donation of an AR-15 that was built for him by this great organization. When you're ready, Trevor, go ahead and roll that.
It'll start playing.
So what we have is the veteran showing up to his local FFL. I don't know if you're going to be able to have audio on that or not.
Yeah, let's take over for a second, and I'll try and get that audio working.
Yeah. So Russ, if you can still hear me, you kind of set this up. tell me where this donation is being picked up at, and if you want to say a first name of a veteran that received it, that'd be fine too.
This was donated through the Marksmen for Vets program. There we got it, audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll that through.
Oops. It's like my first time here.
Your mom didn't put any money in your account?
First day.
No, my debit card don't work.
So he's walking up to the counter at his local gun store.
Because he was asked to borrow $20 for a transfer.
Oh, is that why he? So he has no clue.
Yeah, he had no clue that this is actually his.
This guy on Facebook, man, called Marksmen for Vets, I think, or something.
Or
Reached
something,
out
yeah.
in the group and said, is there a worthy veteran that I can make an AR build for? And a bunch of people like submitted letters and stuff, and I guess he selected your letter.
So he shook up. His hands are literally shaking. He keeps clutching his chest.
Over here about family heirlooms, because I have one ring from my dad and nothing from my mom. So this is going to be huge for my kid to grow up and have.
Wow.
Yeah, boy. He's been sending me pictures of it and stuff, man, but I hadn't.
Driver's license and your license.
Okay. Yeah, you can only touch it. You can only touch it for a minute.
Okay.
They let you fingerprint it, man, before.
This still gets me.
All right, thanks, Trevor. Let's talk a little bit about that build. If you got the chance to see that visually, you know just how how hard that hit, that moment for him. He was already, and what a selfless person. He's already thinking, man, I didn't get a lot to remember my parents by, but he's already thinking of the future. This will be something I'll have forever, and I'll give to my son when he's old enough. So good selection there, Russ, on your recipient.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a tough one. We had two builds going at the same time, and it was a matter of who's going to get this one and who's going to get the 7.62 by 3.9. And of course, I'm glad that he got this one. Both rifles turned out really well. If you looked closely at the Cerakote job, it has the state of Texas Cerakoted into the receivers. So that's in that the lower was custom engraved by MOA Customs. So the serial number has his name on it.
Wow.
Has his MOS.
Oh, wow.
Engraved in it as a combat medic.
So personal and
it's
impressive.
It's a very personal weapon, as I try to make them all, mostly so they don't get, resold. That'd be the worst.
Yeah. Well, absolutely a great cause, and that rifle is obviously very slick. Got a Cerakote finish, as you mentioned, a lot of customization, and unfortunately we run out of time to talk about some of the details on the guns. But I want to make a challenge for our listeners. Just jump in our fan group. You can tag Russ Jackson. So go to the Gun Shop Show fan group, say, I want to contribute. And Russ, is there anything in particular that's kind of the hardest thing to get, or you're in the most need for generally?
Barrels and bolt carriers. Those are the two hardest things usually to get a hold of. Right now, every little part counts. Anything from, grips to hand guards to just anything is precious. It eventually all gets used.
Well, I'm going to make this commitment right now. Today, we'll probably do it in the Shover Drive because we got some more great guests coming up. But we're going to send Logan on a hunt around the store, and we're going to gather up about $250 worth of AR parts and accessories that can go into a build for Marksmen for Vets. And
Awesome.
And we're going to send that out to you totally free of charge. And then I want to challenge our listeners to try and match that. So if you got something at home, or if you want to come in and do that out of our inventory, that doesn't go to us. That's going to go directly to the organization, go directly to Russ, to be put in the hands of veterans.
Awesome, guys.
We're going to do that today. And tell us roughly how many people do you have on the horizon? I mean, obviously you want to serve as many as you can, but do you have some immediate goals?
I have one build underway that's going to a female vet in West Virginia. That build is complete. I have 2 more builds that are in process that are not claimed or spoken for, but both of those need lowers and lower parts kits. One of them is a complete build that was won by Danny from Bowden Tactical. Did a Black Friday giveaway, and Danny won that. He is the requester for the gun that you guys just featured, the AR-10. So he won the build kit from Bowden Tactical, and he donated that build kit back to Marksmen for Vets. So that was an awesome gift.
That is an awesome gift.
And that'll set another veteran up for another build.
Excellent.
So I have 2 that are not claimed. The more parts I get, the more I can build, and the more I can do. Each build I wind up putting a little bit into because of shipping, and I ship it to the Cerakoter, I ship it to the recipient, and that all adds up. I'm just a simple machinist, and that's how I started, was by a veteran friend that didn't have. He's a disabled veteran with Parkinson's, and he did not have any type of rifle. He had air rifles, and we were out shooting, and he's like, I got to get me one of these, and that's what led to this program.
And that was your idea. You saw that need, and you felt.
I saw that need. I asked on the AR-15 Snob Free page if I can ask for spare parts. They started flooding in, got enough parts to build his, and then somebody says, I know somebody that could really use one that can't afford to build or buy their own. So we did it again, and then again, and then again. I've got 13 rifles out there right now. That's done this way.
Incredible.
Through people's generous donations.
Absolutely. And, once you've done it, of course, I've never heard of anything like this, but once you've done it, you think, well, we've asked these men to carry these types of rifles and defend their country and do things that the rest of us don't want to have to do. And then some of them aren't in a position to even own one and enjoy shooting like the rest of us get the chance to do. So what a beautiful thing that you've done. We are going to make that commitment to you today. We're out of time with you, Russ, but we're going to gather that $250 package. We're going to try to urge our listeners, help us match that. We'll get it in a box and get it on the way to you, Russ. Thanks so much for being here.
Awesome, guys. It's been a privilege and an honor.
Listen here, Pilgrim. This here is the Gun Shop Show.
Previous episodes and more available at gunshopshow.com.